Transition. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As we go on board to La Majore Autodrome, I have with me Rukshan Halpita giving his expert comments on the commentary today. This is round 5 of the CMSC Race from Home Championship, brought to you by, presented to you by Petronas Synthium and powered by SLT Mobitel with our always faithful partners, Lab 57, House of Glass, and AAAR. Rukshan, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Diroshan, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a funny, sunny day on the track. It's sunny. It's Autodrome Lago Maggiore, a fictional track from Italy, presented by the Gran Turismo, and it's a track of 17 corners, 5.8 kilometers racing length, and here in Sri Lanka. At some parts, it's very rainy and cold weather. So I hope you all enjoy the sunny weather in this fictional track in Italy. And we will see the qualifying is on of Race at Home Championship Round 5. This entire championship comprises of 6 rounds. And this is brought to you by Petronas Synthium, powered by SLT Mobitel, associate partners Lab 57, House of Glass, and social media partner AAAR, Autodrome, Lago Maggiore, a beautiful track with lovely 17 corners with a lot of elevation changes. And today we have 12 drivers. You are viewing the pro qualifying session. We have Akil Rizni, Rushdi Irishan, Viren Boteju, Ria Safrat, Adam Junaid, Seshan Gunasekara, Kevin Pereira, Brian Pereira, Thiago Pereira, Kushan Piris, Mevan Pereira, and Shami Alvis. 12 drivers on track, and we see today as well, Viren choosing his personal favorite, the Aston Martin. This is GR3 class. It's a GT3 event, and Niroshan.
Great fun to see these guys back in action. Rukshan, it's nice to see these guys back. We've got 12 drivers today, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, 12 drivers to be precise.
We are missing Ashan and one other driver. I think they've had something else to do. But great stuff here. I think most of these guys are on driving Porsches. If I'm not
Mostly Porsches. Then we see one Volkswagen Beetle. Ria Safrat is driving the Volkswagen, and our good friend.
Rukshan, that Volkswagen has a lot of torque. It'll be brilliant on this track. It's a 8-speed. If I'm not mistaken, it's either 7-speed or an 8-speed. 7-speed car, and on that long straight, that Volkswagen is going to have a lot more torque than the others.
So you're going to put your money on the Volkswagen, or you would like to stay with the Porsche? Because my favorite on this entire competition is Porsche, because I see the Porsche RSR drivers are doing absolutely the right thing always, but we have some people bringing surprise. Seshan is driving Supra, and
James Bond is driving the Aston today.
Yes, the Mr. Bond is back in his very lovely purple Aston Martin.
Again, I'm not going to make a comment on the color. I've been told I'm colorblind to a great degree, although I do not agree with it. Sam and the others say that I'm colorblind. So that car is whatever color you call it. I'm fine with it.
That's more like indigo pearlescent paint job. It's very beautiful. And currently we are riding with Viren Boteju, trying to clock in his fastest time. So far we have Akil Rizni on P1, and Viren just clocked in the second fastest lap time. Just 0.2 of a second, down on Akil. And we have Thiago on P3, Shami on P4, and Akil Rizni have now clocked the fastest lap time so far, 1 minute 55 seconds.
155 is a very, very decent time.
It's about 5.8 kilometer track, and
I saw Kevin has clocked 155.0,
Yeah,
and
Kevin has gone fastest again.
Brian did a flyer this morning. I watched him in qualifying practice. I watched him practicing in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
trackside, watching him, and he did a brilliant run. And I won't be surprised if we see somebody in the 114s,
140s.
114. Well, sorry, 154. Sorry,
154s, yeah, yeah.
154s.
I was just imagining as to how to cut that much of
Oh,
time. The Supra running a little wider, and Thiago, is he
coasting.
glitching?
He's coasting.
Ghosting.
He's
All right.
coasting. He's coasting. They do these things to burn the fuel. They'll come back in for a set of new tires, and they'll go out again. They've got just under smidgen over 4 minutes plus another 1 minute. It's about 5.5 minutes in total remaining in this qualifying session.
Niroshan, I have a funny thing to say about this track now. This, though it's a fictional track, it looks absolutely fantastic, and I wish we see more tracks like this often in the real world of racing. It's a beautiful track, a beautiful layout.
I've driven on this circuit on the Gran Turismo. That last corner, it takes a lot of car balancing to keep it round that corner. It's generally third gear. You bring it into second in the last bit, past the apex, and then you boost it out again. That corner there,
Oh,
it's a brilliant circuit. You
it
know,
looks a
now
fantastic
let's let's
layout.
let's, let's ride on board with Riaz. Go around this circuit. We just stay with Riaz. That's a hard break, first gear corner. He's in second there. A sharp right-hander down into another left-hander coming here. Short shift here, and you'll downshift roundabout now, I guess, because you need. He doesn't downshift, but you have to brake hard here. Second gear,
Yeah,
if
he
I was
goes.
him. Yes, on third, and a long downhill stretch into fourth, I would say fifth as well. Sometimes sixth. This car has a close ratio box, so he's into sixth. Yes, braked hard, very late apex here, and then you start climbing. You back into second, ideally. No third gear for him. I told you, it's a close ratio box. This
That's
car,
right.
it's different. Into fourth, downhill into hard braking left-hander, and then you got to keep it on the curb here, on the right hand again a curb, and back again the left hander on the curb. So you'll be changing direction, and the car gets very light here.
Oh, he's running a little wider there,
Yes,
exceeding
and
the track
this
limits.
corner is crucial because you got to get a perfect run out because it's a long straight. He'll be into seventh gear and brake hard into a second or a third. I take it. Yes, he'll be into
Oh wow, downhill.
downhill, hard braking, very late,
He
and into second. No,
he
third
didn't
gear.
miss the apex there. Managed to keep.
This corner here again is very very crucial because the car is light and you're going uphill, left-hander into a right-hander, a short straight into another right-hander again. You're always on the money here. You got to
Okay.
keep the car in that perfect line. The double right-hander here into a left-hander, and then you come into the that last left-hander into the main straight. You see here how what a lot of balancing he has to keep the car. There you go. See,
That's the final corner, and
yeah, and he's going to come into the pits and do a bit of tire. No, he's
oh
not.
no 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 no,
Oh,
he's
he
going to
missed the
clock it.
pits, I guess. So there you have a lap of the Lago Maggiore.
Oh wow, that's a fantastic lap, and this reminds me a little bit of the track comprises a little bit of Interlagos, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Fantastic track, and that's Riaz Hafrat.
So the fastest
And
time is Kushan Perez at 154.855. You know, Kushan is driving on a Fanatec.
oh,
So
the rig.
the Fanatec steering wheel,
Okay.
which gives him phenomenal
Feedback,
feedback.
the almost real world racing feeling of
And
the.
you know, we spoke to Kushan a little while ago. He's suffering from a bad headache,
Okay.
and he was suffering, and he was like wondering, should I actually run today because he's really feeling sick.
Uh-huh.
And there he comes out and clocks fastest time for the day.
As you mentioned, we have come to the 154s now, and we probably can see something 154 half or even early 154s. Kushan Piri is currently on P1 provisional, and Kevin Pereira on P2. Where's Brian Pereira on this? Yeah, Brian is currently P7, and let's ride on board with Brian for a second and see how he is managing.
So Brian is at the moment in seventh. Kushan is leading.
We are now riding on board with Brian Pereira. He has actually clocked the
Brian,
fastest sector time.
sector, yes. He's done a personal best there. So we might see a change of position happening very soon. Brian, I told you, ran a really quick, run there.
He's pretty aggressive around the corners and half of car here, half of car there through that S.
He's still running. He's doing fast sector times there. So
And he's recording the purple times.
I'm telling you, he's going to bring this to 154 fives.
Or maybe even lower.
No, about a 154 fives. He's got 1 minute 54 left of time there. So Brian can finish this lap. And he seems to be on a flyer. I take it he's 4 tenths up. 4 tenths up. So
look at the confidence levels. You know, when you look at his steering input, he's very smooth, not too abusive on the steering, and he's very confident and hoping the car would hold on to the dear tarmac. And that is how Brian is managing a very, very, very quick lap around this time.
He'll get pole. He'll get pole on this. He needs to get pole on this. I told you, 155.4.
Oh, 154 early. As I mentioned, Brian just clocked 154.203. That was a phenomenal lap. And do you think he has left any more to do a better timing? Perhaps take it to 153s? Or is this the best?
He does that.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, that's the end of the qualifying session for Pro race round 5. And provisional pole goes to Brian Pereira. What a fantastic drive there.
So now we go into race mode. Let's 13 laps, if I'm not mistaken, or 12 laps. 12 laps of this circuit. Brian on pole, Kevin next to him, his brother. Let's see which of the two brothers prevail into the first corner as they go into that hard-braking left-hander.
So it's a Pereira lockout today.
Front row lockout by the Pereira brothers, followed very closely by Kushan and I think Akil Rizni is in. No,
Akil B5.
Oh, Bond is fourth. Mr. Bond is fourth, and Kevin slips right into the middle of into the track pack and tries to take the inside line. There's a little bit of aji-baji there. It's all good.
Oh, Viren moved in nicely,
Very
but he
nicely,
lost out.
But Kushan is the man of the hour. Cometh the day, cometh the man. And Thiago from 6th has come 3rd.
Yeah, that is primarily because, the attack by Viren, he didn't manage to stick to what he actually planned. And it was a brilliant attack by Viren in his ascent, but couldn't quite pull it off the curbs. And as a result, Thiago was driving on P6.
Oh, bad luck for Viren there. He goes out all on his own there. Bad luck there.
Viren is back. And Brian Pereira on P1. Thiago has moved into P2 and Kevin has moved down to P3. Viren keeps running down on the order and currently is P6. And the Porsches, the mighty Porsches have proven to be... So the mighty Porsches have proven to be very potent again here around this Lago Maggiore track in Italy.
Yeah, I think there's the Porsches are quite quick. I see a penalty for somebody. Thiago's gone a little too wide, and I think he's incurred a 0.4 second penalty for putting 4 wheels off the circuit, I presume. But Adam is 4th. Seshan is 5th. Brilliant driving by those little fellas.
These young drivers have managed to feed on from the scraps of the mistakes done by the
Let's
seniors.
watch the 3 guys abreast here.
Ooh.
Whoa, Adam, Seshan and
Viren.
Viren. That was mighty driving by Viren. Mighty driving. There's a little bit of bumping and hitting there. Come on, guys. Let's keep this thing clean here.
Oh, going
that
on the
was
other
a
side.
little bit. Oh, wow. These guys are.
Oh.
This is brilliant stuff by these guys. 3 abreast into the first corner. We finished 1 lap already. Adam managing to keep second place. Seshan trying to go down the inside. These guys are.
And he's...
Adam 13 years old. Seshan 10 years old. Viren, I don't want to say how old he is.
Yeah,
But there we
he's in
go.
his 30s maybe.
Very nicely driving. I'm sure the stewards are going to tell the drivers to take it easy, no bumping, no hitting. And sorry,
Some fantastic battle brewing in the middle order between Adam Junaid and Viren. Viren was very competitive with the number 4, 5, 6 cars. Now he's on P6. Adam has moved on to P4, and there we have a lovely attack by that is Seshan. Seshan has
okay, Ruksha, let's leave the cars aside. Let's leave racing aside. Let's look at the colors of these cars now. These cars look phenomenal. They
look at those liveries. Adam Junaid has actually given his
Seshan has got the better of Adam in the process.
That's right.
And yeah, I mean the cars look gorgeous. These look like real world racing cars. It's right on board with Seshan. From Seshan, you'll see all the 4 cars behind him.
All right.
Adam is coming back. Adam is coming back with a vengeance. You can see beautiful cars.
Now with
Seshan is.
We cannot go to the onboard view. Doesn't feel good.
It's okay. Beautiful. The cars are handling beautifully along this.
We have a 6-car train here from P4 to P10, all the way from P4 to P10. These drivers are doing their absolute best, keeping in the same line and trying to slipstream and gain some better exit speed out of these corners. Let's now move our focus on to P3, 2 and 1.
1, 2, 3, we forgot 1, 2, 3 in the process.
Yes, and there's a nice battle brewing between Brian Pereira, Thiago and Kevin.
That's a sandwich of Porsches. Thiago's been sandwiched by the 2 brothers. That's the bottom line here.
That's the bottom line here. It's a Pereira brothers sandwich, and Thiago is managing to hold on to the rear of Brian Pereira there in his Porsche RSR 911.
He's going to break a little later in this corner. No, he doesn't. But you got to give credit to these guys. Look at the gap. They're going through these corners absolutely professional, not touching each other.
Not touching each other because I think they have quite a lot of experience when it comes to driving on these.
And healthy respect for each other as well.
Brilliantly, that's precisely.
3 go-karters from where? From which track, Rikshan?
From Bandaragam. Yes.
You have to, come on.
Yeah, I know.
You have to give a little bit of credit to Bandaragam as well.
That's true because, I've seen these boys racing in real world in those karts and look at that. Thiago made a lovely move.
Bit of a tough one going around the outside.
But Brian managed to save for him to lead the rest of the lap, and we are on the lap 3, 2 laps
of 12.
That's right.
These guys are all going to need to come in.
Thiago still managed to hold on to his dear P2, and while he's been closely followed in by Kevin Pereira in the very lovely...
Thiago lost a little bit of ground to Brian in that little bit. Let's go back down again and watch the other guys.
Okay, here, the battle is still brewing. 6 cars, still 6 cars, grouping into 4 and a 2. We have the Supra of Seshan and the Porsche of Adam Junaid and Irshan.
Where's my man?
Akil Riznian. Bond is sliding all over. I think he finds it a little... he keeps oversteering... not oversteering. He keeps understeering heavily into these corners.
There was a bump there by somebody. And Adam went way too wide into that corner, braked a little too wide. They're snaking around. The tires, I think, have seen the better light of day. But
here we have Mr. Bond in his Aston Martin. Still on P8, trying to find a way past.
Shaken, but not stirred. Oh, that was a naughty
Akil Rizny oversteered, I guess. There was no bump.
That was
didn't
Adam.
seem to be.
That was Adam.
We didn't see on P7 and...
yeah, that was a coming together between Adam and Bond, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That was Adam. I saw him oversteering, losing a bit of control, but I don't know whether they had
I'm sure
a bit of a
will
nudge.
make a note of that one there.
Lap 4?
Lap 4, I guess. Lap 4.
Adam and Viren.
Seshan is under pressure from somebody. Who's the guy? Somebody there. Who's the guy? No, go up. Let's see. Seshan was under pressure from somebody. Yes, I told you. Seshan was taken by Rushdie Irshan.
And Rushdie has moved on to P4, and the top three is managing to holding
Leave
on to
them
their
alone. Leave
position.
them alone. Leave the top. These guys are phenomenal. Look at these guys. Look at the follows. They are like
Three, four,
five,
five, six,
six,
seven
seven.
cars.
I mean, 4, 5 cars in the same frame.
They're fighting for the same position. They are all fighting for P4,
Let's go.
and we have 6 cars, and the 7th car is joining. That is that Riaz Hafrath in his Volkswagen, and currently Seshan is attacking Irshan.
Seshan is only 10 years old.
Oh,
He
there
ran
you
a bit
go.
wide there,
Akil Risley moves on the inside on Seshan, and he
but
has
Seshan might outbreak the guy because the next one is right hand.
going into the first corner there, into the left-hander. He cut the corner.
No.
I think Akil Risley in his Porsche cut the corner there. All four.
He didn't get a penalty there, so he's clean.
He's okay.
He's okay. Game gives a penalty if you do something.
The cutting corners is automatically picked up by
The game.
Right,
The
the
game.
game.
Yeah.
So that was a fantastic move, and Akil Risley is staying ahead. Irshan is ahead of this pack in his red Porsche.
I think they're getting quite close to a time for pit stops. Maybe another lap and a half, and they might be. But I have a gut feel that these guys are on a one stop.
On
a
the
no-
P4 to P10.
on a no stop, and Seshan has finished his tires. That's it. Seshan will have to come in for a set of tires
His
very
fronts
soon.
are like
Fronts are gone.
45% gone, and
He pushed it too fast, too early, way too early.
way too early.
Yeah, that's what's happened. I'm wondering what happened there.
And we have Kevin recording the fastest lap time of 155.94, much slower than.
Kevin has taken Thiago. Go up.
Let's go up to the P1 is here. P2 has
something's happened because Thiago's fallen way back.
Thiago has fallen away from the pack because they were very close, bumper to bumper, P1 to P3. Unfortunately, Thiago would have lost a little bit of traction, lost a bit
He's
of
gone
grip
off
and
somewhere because he's gone off. Because if you look at his lap times in the last 2 laps, you see he's gone off and lost almost a second. So he's gone physically off somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's
Would have left the track momentarily, and
yeah.
good for Kevin. So the Pereira brothers are leading.
But
P1 goes to Brian.
Thiago must be watching his mirrors because you can see Irshan, and these 2 guys are going to come very fast up to these guys.
But still, it's about 4 seconds off.
How much of fuel does Thiago have?
Thiago has
so he's got to come into the pits much earlier than the rest, and his
more than
tires,
25% of his tank still in.
I would take it that he's going to come in for a pit stop in the next 2 laps. What's the situation with the top 2 drivers?
Let's look at the pit.
They've
They have half a tank
They've
left.
got a lot more fuel.
Lot more fuel there.
So it's all about driving styles here.
Right. So Thiago has been driving with a lot of power, powering through the corners.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, and he's also using his engine mapping must be very different.
Okay.
He must be using a lot more power in his engine mapping. That he's using a lot more fuel as well.
Yeah, it appears to be using 10 to 15% more than what Brian and Kevin is using.
He's not losing
the tires.
He's not losing time to the next car behind him. If you look at the gap, it's not really reducing too much. But the front
still 4 seconds.
But the front 2 guys are pulling away.
Front 2 guys are pulling away. Kevin Pereira is 3 seconds.
Now it's gone up to 3 seconds on Thiago.
Yeah, and they were less than a half a second close.
Maybe a strategy is different. You never know.
That we would eventually see.
But I would take it that the 2 Barrera brothers in front, their driving today has been in a different league because they are clocking up their times that they were clocking to were very different.
Okay, look at this battle between Irshan and Akil Risley in the 2 Porsches, the red and the green Porsche. Akil Risley has closed in on Irshan today, and this is the 6th laps happening.
Cousins, by the
dear
way.
viewers.
Cousins, by the way.
Oh,
These 2 guys are cousins.
All right, so the 2 cousins and battling it out on the track, and Akil Risley.
So 1, 2, 3, all in the pits.
Stays
I told you, these 2 guys are running a different strategy. They might be able to run it all the way to the wire without a stop.
I saw Seshan also coming into the pits, and shall we go take a look at it? Okay, that's the race leader, Brian Pereira, in the pits.
Former race leader.
Yeah. Before pitting, he was the race leader, and right behind him, Kevin Pereira. And Thiago is still in the pits refueling.
Oh, Mevan has managed to pit Thiago in the pits as well.
Mevan has pipped Thiago?
I think so. No, they haven't. I'm
No,
sorry, I
no,
made a
no.
mistake there.
Yes, Brian, Kevin,
So
Thiago,
they
our
maintain,
previous race leaders,
but Mevan has got very, very close to Thiago.
and
And he wasn't there. And the gap between Thiago, can you go to, gap between Thiago and Kevin? Let's see where it happened. So the
that's
gap,
9 seconds.
something happened there because the gap when they went in was only three,
It was 3 seconds.
and now it's gone up to 9.
So probably it's into the
Thiago took
fueling.
a lot more fueling than fuel than.
He has about 80% of his tank, whereas Kevin has fueled
Less.
much more less.
And even
So that explains.
That explains it. Yeah, but they can do that because Kevin's driving style uses less fuel.
So you suggest that he's very smooth on the throttle?
That's right.
So Brian and Kevin, they are both on fresh tires and almost equal amount of fuel in this pit stop. And Thiago has taken a bit more fuel, probably owing to his driving style, pretty aggressive on the throttle. And let's look at Mevan. Mevan, there's a little bit of a nudge from Mevan to Thiago on lap 7. And that's a little bit of battle brewing there after the pit stops. Thiago is P6 and Mevan is P7. So we are seeing Mevan after quite some time because he was not in contention with these cars before, or maybe we lost a little bit of sight on him. Now we are back again with Seshan and Adam tonight. Adam is very, very close attacking Seshan, and right behind him it's like less than 1/10 of a second gap, bumper to bumper, going into the corner. Seshan runs a little wide, but he manages to come back onto the line and defend himself from Adam. And let's take a look at let's take a view from, okay, we have a bit of a technical issue to take the onboard view from Adam Junaid. It stays here. Okay, there we ride on board with Adam Junaid. He's less than 3/10 of a second down on Seshan, and he's pretty aggressive. And I like his steering inputs. It's not too heavy. It's quite progressive steering.
It's one turn at a time. It's very nice to see.
Yes. This reminds me of Jenson Button, good old F1 champ. He was one of those people where everybody else loved a little bit of oversteering on the car. Jenson always preferred the car to be set up on to a bit of understeering, and gives in a lot of smooth steering inputs, and this reminds me of that.
Can we just ride on board with Akil? Let's see what his situation is.
We are going into Akil Rizzi, the race leader.
I think Mevan has overtaken Thiago as well.
Akil
there you go. Akil goes into the pits now.
And then Brian Pereira takes back the lead.
Brian goes into the lead. Akil Rizzi is in the pits. Kevin is second at the moment. Thiago is third. Let's see where Akil comes out. Has he passed the pits? Have the drivers passed the pits? That didn't work for him. That didn't work for him today. He is going to come out just... Oh! That was just there. Thiago managed to pip him just on the wire there. But Akil is going to have fresher tires from what I see. But he's also going to have his good friend Rushdie Irshan on his tail. And I don't know. This is going to be a battle all the way. But credit to Kevin and Brian.
They are keeping it absolutely clean and best.
They've got an 11, almost 12-second lead on Thiago at the moment. And that was...
And Thiago has everything to lose his podium.
Running a little wide there. He's lost it, I think. But the corner is a left-hander. Thiago might have it right there. He's keeping the car in the right place. And yes, that is just there. Whoa, this is nail-biting stuff.
This is nail-biting stuff. And let's look at Akil Rizzi. Akil Rizzi is going on around the outside, and unfortunately losing his P4 to Irshan, because Irshan was there to feed from the scraps of
He's going
the
to break.
mistakes
He's
from
going to break late.
Akil.
He's going to break late. He's going to break late. Oh, there's a bit of bumping there.
Oh, let's
He
go.
hit him
Oh,
there.
Thiago has lost his speed.
There was a
Position.
little bit of a bump there on the break, under braking.
Irshan has managed to attack Thiago and managing to stay ahead of Thiago. And this is the P3 position is fought by 4 cars. All 4 are Porsche 911 RSRs, and there goes Thiago again, trying to go on the inside of Irshan, and quite not managing to stick.
That's exactly what happened in the previous couple of corners. So he's going to do the same thing back again.
And let's look at Akil Rizvi. Akil Rizvi unfortunately have lost track position to Mevan Pereira. Mevan Pereira has joined in on the party.
Mevan is a brilliant driver. There's going to be a lot of slipstreaming around this race straight. Right on board back again with these guys. There's going to be slipstreaming, under braking. Thiago taking a very wide line. He knows
there
that
goes Akil Rizvi on around the outside, but losing a lot of ground there.
No chance there. Wrong line there by Akil.
Yeah, lost a lot of time as a result. Now we have...
You know the smart thing to do here. Thiago shouldn't fight. Mevan shouldn't fight. They should just go with Kevin, with Irshan, and try to keep the pace going.
And then take the fight to the last lap, corner maybe?
Exactly. You got to fight it all the way. You can't fight in the middle.
Let's look at the tires of Irshan. He's on fresh rubber. 1/3 of a fuel, 1/3 of a tank of fuel there. And Thiago Pereira, look at his tires. It's holding on. Good.
Decent. Another 2 laps to go.
Look at this tire wear. Thiago Pereira, Mevan Pereira, almost same. Identical fuel, identical tire wear. Probably matching each other's driving style.
The crazy thing is now these guys could do it without a pit stop. Today everybody had to go.
Everybody
and that you have to give credit to Sam for deciding the number of laps, because he made that decision to move it to the number of laps there where they had no choice. And Mevan takes Akil there.
The Mevan was anyway ahead of Akil, Akil is fighting back with Mevan on the straight, and that's a little bit of bumping going on.
Not on the straight. You can't do that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, Akil has absolute advantage because it's a right-hander. He took...
Mevan is a bit naughty there on that one.
Drive professionally, guys.
And you heard that race control informing the drivers. These drivers are connected via a headset and a Discord channel where the drivers are told if they are doing something wrong. Race control from Sam Hinken, the race director and steward today, he informs them immediately that there's some kind of infringement in place.
Now let's go to the backpackers. There we are with Seshan and Adam Junaid, both leaving the track often on this final corner.
It's called herd mentality. One went, the other went with him.
Herding and beaching. And we have Riaz in his Volkswagen, quite not managing to give a fight. He's fighting a lonely battle there. Kushan Piris has gone down on the order. He's currently P10. And Viren is P11, and that's about it.
See, this is what I'm saying. The whatever said and done, those Porsches are...
Porsche seems to be very quick and handling pretty well, better than the Aston Martin there.
Kushan is just tired.
Probably his headache taking the better of him today, unfortunately. Let's ride again with Adam Junaid. We are now on board with Adam Junaid, and Seshan is quite far away from his sight, but he still have him on sight. He's 1.5 seconds, 1.8 seconds down, close to about 2 seconds down on Seshan. And moving on to Seshan, he doesn't have any drivers on his side, because next is Mevan Pereira, quite far away. There he goes down.
But you see, there's something has happened up
this
ahead.
Is the fantastic,
because Mevan is still fighting with what happened to Rushdie?
We will go find out. One drive is off the race.
We've dropped Rushdie somewhere down the line. No, is it? Rushdie is
he's there. He's on P3.
He's in P3. So Rushdie is there, Akil is there, Thiago is 4th at the moment, and Mevan is 5th. So credit to these guys. These guys are...
Rushdie Irshan is fighting a distant P3.
I mean, the Pereira brothers.
Here, no there.
The Pereira brothers today have shown stamped their class today.
That's right. And look at Kevin. Look at Kevin. He's half a second.
I'm very worried
on his brother.
I'm very worried because this guy is going to take his brother out. It's
Now,
scary when either Mevan or Kevin
Kevin.
follow Bran. Bran is the unfortunate recipient of a bump.
But
So
I presume that this is we are on the final lap and Brian has a clear lead and
mm,
Kevin losing a bit of speed there. So probably this will end as it is. Brian taking the checkered flag first and Kevin his brother taking the checkered flag next. And Irshan is driving a far distant race, 10 seconds off the leaders there.
and where's Akil?
Akil Risni is on a P4 again isolated plus
But close enough.
well,
Close
two and a
enough.
half seconds on his on Thiago. Thiago is P5 and 1 second down on Irshan. Now he see Irshan in his sights, and can he manage to pull
Too
some?
far. Too far, too late.
Because we have one, two, three, four, five,
They're
six
all
corners to go.
they're all on
Oh, look at Viren. He has clocked the fastest lap time, 1:54.999 in his Aston Martin.
Mr. Bond
Bond has done some clean lap there.
yeah, exactly. He
I
can
wish
he's a brilliant driver. You have to give
he's a
credit.
brilliant driver. I
Viren
wish he
is-
was in his Porsche. I wish he was driving a Porsche and he could have taken the fight to these top runners. And Brian still reading from the start.
So
And
we've got Brian who reads
Brian takes the checkered
checkered
flag, and
followed by Kevin and
P2.
Rishni and whoa, that's a close
It's a
one
very close
for the
fight.
third spot. There is Irshan comes third, Akil comes fourth, and we wait for Thiago as Thiago flashes his lights and comes in fifth. Mevan unfortunately had fallen back. I think Mevan too was
Oh, there's a battle brewing between P8 Ria Safrat and Seshan.
and Seshan Adam comes in seventh. Wow, young man, seventh, and Kushan and Viren.
That is Viren taking the final.
So there you have it,
position.
ladies and gentlemen.
Brian wants.
Race one of the pro class. We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you with
The amateur class round
in-
5 race qualifying next.
yeah, that will start at 2 p.m.
Ah, again, Latino.
What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art, or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art, or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may... What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art, or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art, or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection.
We are back again with qualifying. This is round 5 of Race at Home Championship M class, and the race is happening on a fictional track, Alsace village track in France. It's a fantastic, beautiful layout, and it's an evening race. So good evening again to everyone, all the viewers out there. So we are running 10 drivers today. We have Emdad Hussain Tiran Pereira, Sachetana Patriges, Rai Zubain, Angelo Senaratna, Dasun Ranatunga, Inuk Madhumarachi, Sam D. Smith, Mevan Vikramasinghe, Ime Silva, 9 drivers altogether. And this is the qualifying happening right here in this 5.4 kilometer beautiful track, fictional track at in France, Alsace village, and it has 17 turns.
Most of the cars, Rukshan, seem to be Evos.
Most of the cars, Evos, I think I saw a couple of Subarus. Emdad was driving a Megane.
Emrad is in a Megane. I think let's ride on board. I saw there's a Ferrari.
The Ferrari 458 Italia, that is, I believe, is driven by Mevan Vikramasinghe, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's ride on board with all these guys.
That's Mevan, yes. I remember him driving this Ferrari GR4 class, and he has been doing pretty well in the previous races as well.
Pretty good driving, I must say. These guys are, the cars are looking very nice. This is a rather tough track to drive on. In the high, you climb and you drop, the change of elevation, and the circuit also, the gradient of the circuit changes into different directions. There's a hairpin, so it takes a lot of the driver.
Rise is carrying a very beautiful new livery today. It's absolutely beautiful, multicolored.
I don't know how on earth you can remember all this.
Because he was driving green and white livery before his Lance Evolution. Today it's looking very colorful, just like it is World Cup or Olympics. It's really beautiful there.
Far away from the Olympics from Japan and France. In race control here, we've got Sam Hinkender, who's steward, as well as our race director, and his steward, along with Rukshan, who's a steward here. So these guys are in race control weekend after weekend, handling the Race from Home Championship of the Ceylon Motorsports Club. This is presented to you by Petronas Synthium and powered by SLT Mobitel, our partners as well, Lab 57, AAAR, and not forgetting House of Glass. The owner of House of Glass, Emdad Hussain, also taking part in this event. I think he's the one in the Renault Megane. Personally,
I know Emdad is driving a Subaru powder blue. It's very new. It looks very different. A blue Subaru doesn't look like a racing car altogether. Maybe there's some reason as to why he's going for that.
The first indicative lap time has been set by Rai Zubain, 2 minutes 1 second, and Dasun Ranatunga has just beaten that by 2:15.47, sorry. And we will need my money again is on Dasun. Was a brilliant driver last year. He won the championship. He came into the championship quite late this year. So we got to keep an eye on Dasun. Don't discount Angelo.
Oh, Angelo Senaratne, one of the coolest drivers I've ever known from the real world of racing.
Inuk has changed his livery as well, from what I see.
Yes, I think
beautiful.
Yes, correct. Inuk has changed, and Angelo is driving his usual favorite. He also drives the WRX in his daily life.
Is it?
Yeah, he drives the WRX, and it's a beautiful car, golden. And I met him when he came to change his wheels, and he opted for golden wheels as well. So in this virtual form of racing, he has opted to go for Subaru in this Alsace village track, and that is one good driver. We saw him a couple of times. He's a very cool-headed. He doesn't rush things, he doesn't push things, and he do it absolutely clean. So we can watch Angelo.
See, Imesh. See, Imesh is there. Imesh is also on a flyer. He's a brilliant driver as well. Don't discount Imesh. He's our championship leader at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. Imesh Silva, young man, brilliant driver.
All these drivers are never to be discounted because they've shown a lot of talent here.
Inuk has gone in for a new set of tires, and I hope he hasn't he has unfortunately fueled his car. He should have kept it without fuel. He would have got a faster time there. But yeah.
Shall we take a lap with Inuk Madhumarachi?
Yes.
He's on his out lap, so when he comes to his flying lap,
No,
we will.
let's just ride on board with Inuk. So Inuk's just come out of the pits, sharp right-hander. After that, over the hill, left-hander. Keep your foot flat down there, flat out there. Hard braking, very late apex, very late apex there. Into second gear, third there, fourth now coming, and he'll get into fifth. Very wide, late apex on this corner as well. Third gear, flat out, 140, 145, 50. Keeps it going. Slight switch there as he goes over the crest. Fourth gear, hard braking into second, I would take it. And that's the right hander coming in there into another slight right hander. He will keep it flat out there. And the next one is a left hander, which if I remember right, it's a banking left hander. Yes, there you go. You've got to keep the apexes there. And he keeps it nicely on the inside, doesn't run it too wide. He should have run it a bit wider if I were him. But again, coming into a hard left hander, second gear, third gear. No, keeps it on fourth. Nicely balanced, I say. That's a beautifully done. He did it very well there. As he goes round onto the sharp right-hander, it's going to be a right-hander, which is going to be the hairpin.
Another hairpin.
Second gear, that's right. Second into third, quick third, short shift third, and up the hill. Keeps it on third. Don't change. Yes, that's right. Runs it there a little wide, all the way to the outside. On to fourth now, flat out fourth. From here, it's a flowing bit, and then it back again, hard turn. Second gear.
It's
third.
almost a 90-degree turn right and 90-degree turn left.
Yeah, second gear back and then to the start finish straight there. Nicely done, Inuk. He would get a very good timing on that one. I presume he'd be quicker than he was earlier. Not really, but keeps it in fifth place. All credit to him. But Dasu Ranatunga, man of the hour, man of the
Actually,
day.
Dinuk is starting his flying lap only now. That was the out lap. That is the reason we didn't see his.
My apologies.
So, Dasu Ranatunga is currently on P. He has clocked in the fastest lap time, 2 minutes, 1 second, 1.3. And we will still stay on board with Inuk Madhumarachi because now he's taking his flying lap.
Yes.
And
I made a
keeping it
mistake there.
similar to his previous lap and coming on to a very grand curve onto your left. In his fourth gear, doing about 165 kilometers per hour there, and keep pulling through the gears and come the right-hander.
Keeps it on third there.
It's a third slight oversteer and manages to correct
Fourth.
it.
Now fifth coming along, I presume. Yes. See, if you go on the inside of that corner, the car bumps a lot. Into third,
And
up
coming
here.
into that left-hander that we previously spoke about, and coming into the, it's
I
sort of
don't
like
know-
a parabolic.
I
Reminds
don't
me.
know what these guys are doing, but if you look at the cars
Running
behind,
a little wide there.
all
He's-
these cars are bunched up behind.
Oh yes, we will finish with Inuk Madhumarachi. We want to see how he is faring in this flying lap, and coming on to his final sector.
Do you know that Inuk is only 14 years old?
That's right. Yes, Inuk is one of the youngest kids around in this pack, and negotiates that hairpin pretty nicely. Another left hand 90-degree turn uphill on the third on the rev limiter, and he's driving on absolute limit and slight flowing corners here downhill on the fifth gear. Will he move up? No, down to fourth, third,
So
and
second.
manages to
He'll have to get to second in this corner.
now on to the final left-hander and comes through right about this time. It's a good lap timing, I reckon. 2 minutes, 2 seconds, 1 second down, 1 second down on the leader.
Let's
However,
ride
he's
board.
on P5.
We ride on board with the other drivers. They're all bunched up together. They're all. I wonder what are they doing? They're
Yeah,
fighting
they're-
each other in a qualifying session.
That's something never to be seen actually. However, these guys seem to be having the fighting spirit of a race even during qualifying.
Which sends them all out.
And Sachetana Patrige,
This
he
view
just-
is beautiful. You can see the track with the lake in the middle of it.
it looks like a golf course to me. It's absolutely
No, it's not
beautiful.
golf. It's motorsport.
I wish that this a fictional track appears to be a lovely track. That's the end of the qualifying session, is that?
That's got about a minute and a
All right.
bit to go.
1 minute 20 seconds left, and we are now with Sachetana Patrige in his Renault Megane, currently P8. quite running a very distant qualifying today. He has clocked only 2 minutes 25 seconds, not fairly enough to, and that's the end of the qualifying results of round 5 of Race at Home Championship, presented to you by Petronas Syntium, powered by SLT Mobitel, associate partners Lab 57, House of Glass, and social media partner AAAR.
So we're the starters orders at the moment, and Dasun will lead Rise into the first corner. Angelo on the second row, and next to him will be Imesh Silva.
Let us see.
It's a short straight into the tight right-hander.
The lights are on, and that's
We'll ride on board with.
the lights are green, and that takes off.
Beautiful start by Angelo. Beautiful start by Angelo. Angelo takes it all the way to the first corner, gets the lead there. Wonderful launch by him, and that is the end of Dasun Ranatunga's lead into the first corner. Angelo takes them all the way, and we will ride on board with Rise. Rise is not going to give in easily. These guys are all very astute drivers. Super stuff here. And you will see Inuk has dropped a place. Emdad has gained a place.
He's coming on the inside, and he moves to the lead again.
Wow. That was phenomenal.
That is beautiful. The lead that he lost into a couple of corners, he managed to bring it back. And Angelo is keeping it tight to Dasun Ranatunga. Dasun Ranatunga has managed to get the lead back.
Status quo, it prevails from start grid, but unfortunately Imesh Silva
goes to the outside. Is that a mistake? Can Angelo keeps on the inside? No. Angelo still takes Rise on. This is a beautiful race, and it turns out to be the best race of the day.
This is like watching MotoGP.
That's right. This is so cool. So many overtakes there. And look at that. Imesh has challenged Rise to him and has managed to move it to P3. Rice is down on P4. He's going on the inside, but not managing to find the pace that he requires. Slightly runs wide, and Imesh comes back on Rice. Rice is on P4 again. Imesh gives a fantastic fight here. Imesh moves ahead of Rice and goes on the inside of Angelo Senora, then moves to P2. And look at the race leader. Race leader has ran wide. Race leader unfortunately has run wide. That was fantastic driving by Imesh. He moved on the inside, attacked, and probably, I presume, the race leader Dasun
calm down.
would have looked too much into his rear view mirrors. That is where he lost the apex. He ran wide, and there he goes. Imesh is leading from Angelo from Emdad Hussain.
Emdad is third.
Emdad has managed to come back on this race.
Big Daddy has come third.
And look at his lap time. Imesh has clocked in 2 minutes 8 seconds, and Emdad is on P3.
Angelo took Imesh there in the corner there.
Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. We want to stick with the leaders, but we also want to check out the middle order and the backpackers.
Bevan under serious pressure from Rise and Dasun.
Bevan driving his Italia 458. What a lovely car that is, and heavily challenged by these Mitsubishi is made in Japan. It's a fight between Japan and Italy. There he goes. 3 cars wide. 4.
That was
P4,
very,
P5, P6. That is Bevan, Rice, Dasun. Dasun has moved down on the order, and he's fighting the middle order. However, Angelo is raising on. He's leading from Imesh and Emdad. This is the middle pack. He's giving us absolute entertainment in Ocean.
Rice is trying everything he knows in the book. He has to make sure that he doesn't touch.
Look at that. Rice moved on the inside, taking a massive challenge there. And Rice has managed to benefit out of it, and he's into P4 now.
Yeah, but he's going to slow down Dasun. Dasun needs to get past Rise. So Mevan very, very quickly if he's to be a challenger. But unfortunately, Dasun is being challenged by Sachetana Patirana. Mevan down the inside there, trying to break a little later. He can't. Dasun trying the outside line, tries the inside line.
Look at that. That Ferrari, it's a rear wheel drive, rear mid engine.
Monster to drive.
And monster to drive, it's a little it understeers a little more than a 4-wheel drive car.
Angelo has managed to keep the lead for me.
Angelo will drive it as cool as we know him. However, this middle order seems to be springing some surprises. Let us wait and see this. We are on the second lap of this 12-lap race. And look at this Ferrari, Sachetana Patirage. I beg your pardon, Sachetana Patirage. He's been currently challenged by Inuk Madhumarachi and Sam D. Smith, who's driving. Sachetana is driving the Renault Megane, and Mivan is driving the Ferrari
don't forget Sam.
Italia, and Sam is driving a distant ninth. However, he's 2 seconds to his competitor in front of him, that is Inuk Madhumarachi. And let's ride on board with Angelo Senaratne. Angelo is doing a very beautiful job. A beautiful job keeping Image at bay, about less than a second away. However, keeping it clean, Image is coming, closing in on Angelo. Emdad Hussein is on his powdered blue.
I think, and Emdad ran a bit too wide there. He's going to lose a bit of time there. Yes, there you go.
Emdad has lost.
Emdad
has lost 2 places.
He went off there.
Oh,
Emdad went off there.
That. Look at Angelo Senaratne's time. 2 minutes, 1 second. Was
that close to qualifying time? It was close.
This is a fantastic, clean drive. And we are now with Dasun Ranatunga, closely challenged by Rice Wayne. What happened to Rice? Rice was driving a very challenging race. And
Mevan there. That was another one. Mevan went on the inside of Emdad and took him. Emdad tried to get him on the outside. Didn't really work. And
so we have 3 countries with the marquees. We have the Italian, we have the French, and we have the Japanese. Currently, Japanese dominating with the Lancer Evolution GR4 spec.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, all these cars are 4-wheel drive.
The Ferrari is a rear-wheel drive, rear mid engine.
Is it?
And Renault Megane, I presume, is also a rear-wheel drive. Only the Subarus and the Evolutions are all-wheel drive cars. I remember Rice Wayne, when we were running at Bathurst, he drove it with a rear wheel.
Okay.
And he drove his Evolution rear wheel, not the 4-wheel spec. But today he's back driving a 4-wheel spec today.
Is there a rear wheel spec as well?
Yes, that's what Sabri told me when I was joining the commentary when we were in Australia. Driving the Bathurst round 2, I suppose, round 2. And today, Angelo is leading as usual, and he's getting a very good hang of it.
Angelo has pulled away. It's 1.9 seconds now. He's pulled a second away from what he was earlier. So
to the championship leader, Imesh.
Yeah, I mean, brilliant drive. It's sad that Angelo joined us very late in the championship.
He would have taken the challenge all the way to the last race.
Yeah, but it isn't over. Today is just...
this is the 5th round.
One more round to go.
But as long as Imesh keeps it in points, it's very difficult to challenge Imesh into the championship. I mean, not for Angelo. Angelo is driving only three rounds. This is the 2nd round?
I think so.
I presume. And this is on the championship. Angelo joined us halfway on the round 4. So this is round 5 that is happening. And Dasun Ranatunga has managed to come into contention again.
Yes, because you can see...
he's very close to Imesh.
Imesh's tires are gone.
Oh, the front tires
are gone.
Oh, so look at Dasun. He moves on the outside of Imesh, goes parallel, but didn't manage to quite hold on to it.
Imesh's tires
is understeering heavily and leaving the track momentarily there, and Dasun is back to feed on from the scraps of Imesh, and side by side going into the right-hander. This is a lovely corner there. 90 degrees right, 90 degrees left. Imesh has managed to stay ahead, but still running wide and exit speed. There they touch. They are momentarily touched there. Yeah. And Dasun Ranatunga came out on top, and Imesh down to P3, and Rise Wime has joined the party.
There's a lot of traffic in this little bit of a gaggle of cars here. We ride on board with these 3 guys as unfortunately or fortunately Angelo has pulled away
a massive gap to the race leader. But I like to see this P2 position, and P2 is heavily challenged by 3 drivers. 3 drivers are there.
And all 3 are championship contenders? No.
Imesh is a championship leader, and we have Rice Wim is a championship contender, and Dasun Ranatunga
first round.
It's his first time. Right about in round 5, happening here at Alsace Village Track in France.
Do you realize that Dasun is joining us all the way from Hong Kong?
Oh, that I was never aware. So this is the beauty of this e-racing and organized and officiated by Ceylon Motorsports Club. Fantastic way to promote racing in a COVID lockdown era.
We have to thank our sponsors, Petronas Inthium, for coming along and sponsoring us,
And,
as well as SLT Mobitel for giving us all the data to run all
and
this.
the associate partners Lab 57 and House of Glass, and now social media partner AAAR for making it popular among the social media platforms. And here, the Race at Home Championship Round 5 out of a total of 6 rounds happening right here in this lovely sunny weather in France, Alsace Village track, which is a fictional track brought to you by Gran Turismo.
Now you see, Inuk has taken Sachetana and Sachetana has fallen to 8th place. So these two guys, even at the bottom of the pack, they're fighting tooth and nail to keep the car going. That Megane is a beautiful car to drive on this circuit.
It's quite short wheelbase, a hot hatch, probably handling pretty well, but
it revs. Let's go on board with Sachetana. The car revs like a Honda.
okay.
The engine runs on very high RPM, unlike the other cars. If you take the inside view, you see the car revving extremely high. Not too sure how you get to the inside view.
We will go there.
There you go. Then you can see the car. It beautifully appoints itself. And Imesh and Inuk have decided to come in from the pits. Inuk has burned 48, had only 48% of fuel left. So
That's a half mark of the race distance. This is a 12-lap race, and we are on the 6th lap, and we can see probably almost all drivers coming to pit for new tires, fresh rubber.
Nice timing to come in for the pits, but Angelo has extended his lead to almost 3 seconds now, and Dasun really not making an impression at this point of time to Angelo, who's
Dasun is actually distancing himself between the race leader and P3. 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds plus and minus.
Dasun is catching Angelo big time.
That's right.
Big time.
He's extending his lead over P3 now. It's up to 3 seconds. And to his leader, it's down to 2.5 seconds now. This is an interesting battle going
Exactly.
And we can see as to why Rice Wayne is sort of falling down on the order. His tires are shot.
His tires are shot as well.
Front tires are completely gone. So these cars are aggressively driven, pretty aggressive into the
Angelo
corners.
manages to get back onto pace again, increases his lead to 2.5. It was 2.4 earlier. He's now gone to 2.5. He's made a 10th somewhere. And Dasun not giving up. They're both about the same amount of fuel and tires left. I think Angelo has pushed it, and Angelo does dive into the pits now. I think both are in the pits at the moment.
Angelo Senanand and Dasun Ranatunga, they are both coming into the pits.
Rice is in the pits as well, and MDAD too should come in very soon. It'll be interesting to see how much of fuel they load on board.
So MDAD is also in the pits. Then we also have Sachin
We'll stay with
coming in.
Angelo, because Angelo should be the one. Oh, Dasun came out before Angelo.
What happened there? Oh dear,
Angelo
oh dear.
took a little too much fuel and lost a little bit of time.
Let's look at the fuel levels. Angelo is like 3/4 of a tank, and how about Dasun? Dasun has taken less fuel there.
Fuel.
That's more than enough to run the.
Can I tell you what happened here? Dasun is our champion from last year. He knows exactly how much to refuel. There is a delta. When you do go in for a refueling, there is a delta point.
Okay.
If you go beyond the delta, you're taking excess fuel.
Understood.
You should always take a little up to the delta or below the delta.
Okay.
So then you can change your fuel mapping to make sure that you are within the fuel requirement.
All right.
If you go over the delta, means you're taking too much fuel and wasting too much time. So that's what happened to Angelo.
It's Angelo probably owing to less experience in this e-racing format. Yes,
that's where
Dasun has managed to stay ahead.
Strategy.
That is fantastic planning. Race planning is absolutely spot on by Dasun Ranatunga.
Look, who's catching whom now?
Now,
Who's catching?
Look
who
at
now?
Angelo. Angelo is very quick, and
Angelo is reeling in Dasun Ranatunga. This will be an interesting battle.
this is where Angelo's driving style and how clean he takes the lines
And the
is
car.
actually coming into play.
And
He's
the car.
driving his Subaru against this Evolution, and this is a battle between two Japanese brands, two Japanese much loved brands, and the gap is now under half a second, and right about corners.
Rukshan, he's caught a second and a lot more in
Less than 1/3 of a lap.
in 1/3 of a lap.
And right about in
He's
about
gonna
say,
get
two
plus-
corners into this race, Angelo will challenge Dasun. Now Dasun has picked up his speed and managed to pull the gap to 0.6 of a second and managed to pull up the gap to a second now.
Don't forget, Dasun's car is much lighter than Angelo's. He's carrying for less fuel as well.
Yes, correct.
Oh,
Let
now
us look at it on
Dasun,
the main stretch.
now Dasun has also woken up from his slumber and pulled back the lead to a
He's
second.
probably giving a bit of more power. 1.3 seconds. The gap keeps going up. And what is happening with Angelo? Angelo, can he manage to come back? I think there is a sweet sector that Angelo
Is quick.
is capable and
yeah,
managing
yeah.
to pull a quicker.
See, now Angelo is reducing the gap.
So they are now on sector 2. And we are still running with the race leader Dasun, and let's move to Angelo, because from Angelo's perspective, yes, he is managing to bring down the gap to 1 second. I think Angelo is much more quicker on sector 3.
I don't know exactly what it is because Angelo in the last lap he caught a whole bucketload of time.
That's right.
He lost that whole bucketload of time in the same sector.
Now it's 1.5 seconds.
He lost it here.
Let us find out. Angelo probably making a few mistakes, trying to be a little over aggressive. However, he gets look at this battle. It's the gap is less than half a second.
Our
It's
championship leader Imesh Silva now right on the hooter of Raizuem. Raizuem can only see a green and black Mitsubishi Evolution in his mirrors and must be thinking, oh God, can these next 4 laps quickly finish and I retain my podium spot here.
While this battle goes on, oh, look at this, Niroshan. Dasun has managed to pull a gap of 2 seconds, so it's getting a little less interesting. I cannot say less interesting, but it is as interesting as it can be between these 3. Raizuem, Imesh and Sam D. Smith is currently running at P5, and pit stops have seemed to work in favor of Sam. His front tires are looking good, and he got slightly over quarter of a tank of fuel there, and the rear tires seems to be absolutely fine, and Sam is currently driving P5. Look at Mevan in his Ferrari. He has got fresh rubber, refueled, and closely attacked by Inuk Magdumarachi in his beautiful livery of very simple yet elegant black and red car. Here he comes attacking Mevan, who's driving the beautifully red Ferrari. And let's go to Sachitra Patrike. Renault Megane is driving a very distant P8.
I just love the way that car sits.
And look what has happened to Emdad. Emdad was right in the contention with the top positions in the very quarter of the length of the race, and unfortunately the powder blue Subaru has fallen back on the order.
Yeah, you see where the problem is. Look at the amount of fuel that Emdad has.
Emdad has only 3 laps to go, and he has more than half a tank of fuel. So that is too much.
He's refueled too much.
He's refueled too much, but he's moving on. Mevan on the outside into the right hand and manages to go ahead of him.
Something wrong with Mevan.
Mevan is not having a very good time there, probably.
There's something wrong with Mevan.
So Emdad has moved on to P8, Sachetana P7, Inok Madhumarache has gone on to P6, and now he's managing.
He's catching Sam.
He's less than 2 seconds. Shall we go and take a look at the race leaders? Dasun Ranatunga still leading.
I want to see what happened to Rise and Imesh. So Rise has pulled away, quite a bit of a lead there. Something has happened to Imesh as well because they were battling.
They were battling just
Very, very
0.2
close.
of a second, and
Angelo
unfortunately,
is not giving up the fight. Angelo has got the same amount of fuel, same amount of tires. So, God willing, this will be the finishing order. If you ask me for the for race,
I would still like to put my money on Angelo Senaratne and Rai Zubain to spring a bit of
Too
surprise, because you have 2 more laps to go. We are on the 10th lap, so 2.5 more laps to go, and Angelo is like less than 2.5 a second.
He's gone
within
too
the
far.
sights. The race leader is within the sights of Angelo. But what I cannot really understand here is why Angelo is becoming slower and slower.
maybe he had lunch. I know he's not hungry.
Look at the lap times. Now, when he was driving lap 7,
He's done a flyer, a lap there.
can that be true?
No, that's the lap he went into the pits. Lap 7 is where he went into the pits, and that's the recorded time because it records your time coming into the pit and out of the pit.
But that's 1 minute 59 seconds.
Yeah, because the previous lap is done at 2:25.
That's the pit time.
That's the time that comes to the pits.
Yeah. So he came in
So this
to
is
pits.
this
P6.
is
That's
his
the
outlap.
flyer.
This is the outlap.
That's the outlap, but it's quicker. That's where we saw him catching up to the race
Exactly.
leader.
No.
And something has happened since then. He's 2 seconds slower.
No, Rutran, he's still at the same point. See, his quickest lap has been his 9th lap. The blue line here.
Okay.
So he's on the money. There's nothing wrong. It's just that Dasun is quicker.
Dasun is quicker.
If you look at
so
Dasun's-
Dasun has clocked in 2 minute flat.
See, look at Dasun's times. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. So his lap times have been consistently faster in those laps.
Faster, especially in especially around lap 7 and 8.
Exactly. That's where he's pulled the lead out from.
That is true. And let us now look at Rice Wim, shall we? Rice has managed to pull a fantastic gap to Imesh. And Imesh is finding it quite difficult. Imesh's tires are shot.
Look at Inuk. Look at Inuk. Inuk is right on the tailpipes of Sam Smith.
I think Inuk can actually, we have
Inuk has much more fuel and far better tires.
more than 1.5 laps of race here left.
It will be interesting to watch Inuk. What's he going to do here?
He's
Identical
right
car.
on the bumper. He's on Sam 6, moved out on the outside and goes around.
That's going to be Inuk going to take him because he's on the inside there.
Oh,
Beautiful
yeah,
run.
that's beautiful.
Oh.
But he ran a little too wide.
And
Inuk
on the
was
switchback, Sam took him.
a little too aggressive on the brakes, and therefore he lost the apex and understeered coming out of that corner.
He's going to fight another day there. He's going to fight. He's not going to give up. So you can see him on the inside, on one side, on the other side, trying his level best there.
Inuk Madhumarachi, a young kid, and giving his absolute best right here at Alsace Village track in France, a fictional track from Gran Turismo. Happens to be a very beautiful track.
We've got
that
about
has
Inuk's,
more.
Inuk's got about 10 kilometers, which he has in his pocket where he can get round Sam Smith. Let's see. He can't fall back this far. He has to get out right onto the back, right onto the bumper.
He's a little too far,
Too far
away
behind,
from,
too far from
Sam. It's like half a second, and now coming again on Sam's tail. 0.2 of a second, 1/10,
Oh, very
2
close.
tenths, 3 tenths going around. Oh,
Ew.
he's coming on the inside and side by side there.
Sam still has the line to the corner.
And Inuk Madhumarachi is probably needing to.
That was a bad one from Sam. He ran
Oh.
wide. Whoa, this guy is amazing driving.
Amazing driving,
Amazing
bumper
driving.
to bumper,
Come on,
no
Inuk.
touching.
We
And
love-
that is fantastic. Fantastic racing by.
We love to see driving like this.
Oh,
Unfortunate.
look at that!
unfortunate.
Sam loses control.
Sam hit the barrier.
Yet manages to stay ahead of
Yeah.
Madhumarachi. That's
No, but it's a right
That's
hand and
good
Inuk is on,
recovery.
yeah, but Inuk is on the inside for the next corner.
This is the final lap, dear
Inuk
viewers,
takes it.
and Inuk Madhumarachi has finally managed
Fabulous
to pass
driving on that
Sam
last corner.
Smith. And let us now go into the race lead. Dasun Ranatunga is coming on to this 90-degree right-hander, and Angelo Senaratne has fallen back on the order, and Angelo is on P2. Rai Zubaim is far behind from Angelo. And Imesh is again driving a very distant 9-second gap to his contender in front, and also managing to keep a 9-second
Let's
gap.
ride on board with Inuk.
And here comes Inuk Madhumarachi, slightly challenged by Sam Smith, but I think Inuk might hold on to this.
He will.
And the race leader going through to the sector 3 and to the
We'll ride on board with the leaders now, because that's the
letter 3 P3
Twilight.
P3 has the P2 on his sights, I guess. Not quite enough. And here we have Dasun Ranatunga, the race leader, coming onto the last stretch before the final the S before the start finish line, and right-hander takes the left-hander.
Absolutely.
And
credit.
on to taking the checkered flag. Fantastic drive by Dasun Ranatunga. And he has pulled 6 seconds gap.
To Angelo.
6.5 seconds gap to Angelo. Where is Angelo? What happened to you? Oh dear, oh dear. Angelo Senaratne finishes in P2. And Rai Sumaim takes the checkered flag as third. And Imesh comes through and takes the checkered flag right about now.
Yes.
And that is fourth for Imesh. Inuk Madhumarachi manages to keep his P5 and holds
3.5
on.
seconds.
And there's a lovely battle going on right here.
Oh.
Sachetana Patrige, Mevan and Sam Smith.
What happened to Sam?
Ooh, that
Sam's
is
tires
a
went off.
beautiful finish by Mevan. And Sachetana Patrige. Sachetana manages to stay ahead of Mevan. That is the end of the race 1 of round 5.
We will be
the
back.
6th round championship, race at home championship, presented to you by Petronas Intium, powered by SLT Mobitel, associate partners Lab 57, House of Glass, and our social media partner AAAR.
We'll be back with you with race 2 of the Pro Class shortly. Stay tuned to the action.
Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state of the art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state of the art, or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state of the art, or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state of the art, or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection.
Welcome to the race 2 of Race at Home Championship Round 5 Pro Class race. It's a GR3 class happening right here at Autodrome Lago Maggiore. It's a fictional track, happened to be in Italy by Lake Maggiore. And this is the track again, 5.8 kilometers with 17 corners. The race is on, and Viren Boteju, this is running reverse grid, and he's on P1. And from Viren is Seshan. Kushan manages to get his P2 back again. Thiago Pereira is up to P4. He started the race on P7. Adam Junaid still on P5. He started on P5 and manages to move up to P4. And look at Viren. Viren is trying to keep his lead from Kushan Pires. Kushan Pires driving his Porsche, trying to challenge Viren into the corners, and probably half a lap down. I'm pretty sure Kushan Pires will take Viren Boteju, because Viren's car doesn't seem to suit this track and this format of racing. And Thiago Pereira has moved up to P3 and closely challenged by Adam Junaid, a young fellow driving right here on this 5th round. And Riaz Hafrat P5, Seshan Gundasekar P6, Rushd Irshan on P7, and Akil Rizni on P8. Viren is still managing to stay ahead and cuts the corner there, doesn't pick up a penalty, picks up a half a second penalty there. And Viren Boteju is heavily challenged by Kushan Pires on the outside.
Viren has it there, Kushan, because he's on the inside. Unless Kushan goes right round the outside.
Whoa, look at that.
Beautiful.
Kushan has more exit speed and comes.
It's the steering wheel. My friend, it's a steering wheel.
Can have more control and a feeling of the steering, isn't it, Niroshan? And
both 1 and 2 have now incurred penalties for an off-road excursion. This is going to be playing to the hands of Thiago. Yes,
Thiago has moved into P2. There's fantastic drive.
Because he's got the advantage of not having a penalty, whereas the top 2 drivers have had a penalty. There you go, Thiago managing to get the inside line there.
He's on the inside and moves along.
Viren has the line there because he's on the faster line. Kushan trying the inside is not going to work here because Thiago is on the outside. He's going to be perfectly lined up for the next corner. Kushan tries the inside. Yes, he manages to go round.
Oh, look at that. Thiago loses out there.
Thiago loses out two places there. But you fight, you live to the fight another day. And who's coming in the third? Adam has come in third.
Adam Junaid.
Brilliant drive by Adam, the little boy there. Awesome drive by Adam.
He was there to feed on the scraps from Thiago. That is what exactly happened, because into that corner where Thiago lost pace, Adam is up to P2, and there's a little bit of bumping going between Thiago Pereira and Viren. Viren is down to P5. Riaz Hafrat has moved up to P4. Let's go look at this not even the mid-pack. We are still with the leaders.
Hey, I told you my money's on that Volkswagen. I told you that my money on the Volkswagen.
Oh, this is just the start, Diroshan. We have 10 more laps, 11 more laps to go. We are still on the second lap.
Telling you that Volkswagen has potential.
My money will still be on a Porsche, and Volkswagen, trust me, will wear out towards 30% or maybe half past the race distance. The Volkswagen will wear out, and then there you go. Adam Junaid is challenging Thiago on the outside. He's running a little too wide there.
Other way around. Adam was second.
Yes, Adam was second, and now Thiago has moved into P2. Adam is P3. Adam is giving a fantastic challenge. He's giving absolute best in this round of race. Better than the previous race. And Adam Junaid has it in his bag. He's currently running P3. Riaz Hafrat P4. Irshan is running on P5.
Riaz running Adam a bit wide there. Riaz ran Adam wide there.
That has moved into P3, but momentarily, I presume.
I told you the Volkswagen had more than the legs.
But I would still put all my money on the Porsche, because Porsche has the power and the traction and the straight line speed.
No, the Volkswagen is quick.
Volkswagen
is quick. Trust me on this. Volkswagen is quick. That Volkswagen has the legs. If it can go, it can go.
Volkswagen is driven by Riaz Hafrat. Is currently P3. Kushan
Adam on the outside there. Adam on the outside. Whoa, Riaz takes him. Riaz got the second spot there.
Oh, wow.
Momentarily.
And Thiago is currently P2. Adam is P4. Riaz P3.
Adam got it back.
Oh, that is fantastic. Adam Junaid has attacked Riyaz Safrat, who was driving the Volkswagen, and Riyaz is down to P4. See what I told you. Porsches are reigning this round of the race, and Kushan Perez. Riyaz takes the P3 back. Riyaz takes the P3 back. As I was talking about the Volkswagens and the Porsches, all belong to the same group though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, Ferdinand Porsche's
Creations.
creations are being heavily fought out here.
You know, let me go back in history. There used to be a guy called Pieszke
Pieszke.
who used to race Volkswagen globally, and he
Okay.
came and raced in Sri Lanka at Katkurunda in the 1960s.
Wow, that's a long
He was
time.
called Ferdinand Pieszke, and he came to Sri Lanka, brought by Carmart in the good old days, and he raced a Volkswagen. And I'm telling you, these Volkswagens have an amazing amount of history of racing,
And also relating Sri Lanka with it.
exactly.
And there you go. Adam Junaid is currently P4 and Irshan is P5. Riyaz is P3. And Riyaz is challenging Thiago. Look at the race leader. Race leader Kushan Perez has managed to pull a fantastic and a comfortable 2-second gap, while Thiago Pereira and Riyaz Safrat was battling with each other at P4.
Oh, Riyaz,
Adam
all
Junaid
four
is
ways.
joining
He's going
in.
to have a penalty on that one. Riyaz is going to get a penalty for that.
Oh, Adam Junaid is joining in. Look at Irshan. Irshan is also not so far behind. Seshan is right in his Supra, right behind Irshan. And here we have Kevin Pereira P7, Viren P8. Brian has not managed to pull the required amount of lap time here. He's still treading at P10 and Mevan Pereira in P11. What happened to these Pereira brothers today?
They're running a race without a pit stop.
Oh, that explains as
Oh,
let's
Riyaz
look at
went
that.
off. That was unfortunate. Riyaz went off there. I think the stewards might have a look at that to see if they
Oh,
went
look
off
at that,
on
look
his
at that,
own.
look at that. Yeah, Riyaz is been, this is lap 4.
Riyaz, something happened to Riyaz. there.
Riyaz, he's falling down on the order.
Whoa.
Oh, these cars going, but is that a bang, bang, bang?
No.
Riyaz has fallen back on the order. The Volkswagen
was
ran wide, ran
unfortunate.
out of the track. And Riyaz
Hey,
is
I'm
behind.
really sad now. You've broken my heart. I'm telling you, my heart is shattered at the moment.
Looking
I've lost-
at that Volkswagen, losing it all out on the track. Akil Rizni still P10, Mevan Pereira P9, Brian P8, and Viren Buteju driving his Aston Martin currently in P7. Kevin Pereira has managed, out of all the three Pereira brothers, Kevin has managed to climb up to P6, and Seshan is up to P5. Seshan driving his Supra, driving a very decent race, moves on the
inside.
out.
Whoa,
Oh, yes.
beautiful overtaking maneuver there. Adam didn't see that
That
one
is
coming.
beautiful. Adam left too much a window there, a window of opportunity seen by Seshan. Moves on the inside of Adam Junaid. Niroshan, I think Adam should have covered his bases there.
Adam should
Unfortunately,
have
he
been on
left
the
it too
inside.
wide open,
Yep.
and Seshan saw the opportunity. He took it, and
You know,
currently he
Seshan
was
is he's a small made 10-year-old boy. He'll creep in anywhere he can.
Okay, so Seshan believes in his physical size when it comes to virtual racing, and currently in P4
He's got-
and in contention with Irshan here. Rushdi Irshan is currently on P3, heavily challenged by Seshan, just 0.3 of a second. And look at this Supra.
Thiago
Supra
had-
is giving its absolute best with
Thiago
its
had
driver
better.
today.
Thiago had better watch out because these two guys are catching him quite quickly.
Yes, just 1.7 seconds gap to Thiago between Thiago and Irshan, and Irshan has to look more into his rear view mirrors than through his the windscreen ahead.
That Supra can't last more than a lap more.
I presume as much, because the Supra we have not seen in much of a contention in this format of racing in the three race rounds that I was a part of this commentary. However, we will go to see.
Rushdie has to be careful of Kevin. He's the man.
Look at Kushan Perez still managing to lead from Thiago Pereira, 3.5 seconds a gap.
2.5 seconds actually. Rushdie, he's got a 0.9 second penalty there.
Okay, all right. So that is a new learning there. Okay, so that is close to 3 seconds gap now, because he's pulling away from Thiago. Thiago is 1.5 seconds down. 1.5 seconds up on Irshan. Irshan is 1.5 seconds down on Thiago. Thiago is, while Thiago is pulling away, Irshan is looking in his mirrors and see this beautifully liveried blue Supra coming on his rear view mirrors, filling his rear view mirrors with his blue fantastic car from all the way from Japan. So it's a battle between Japan and Germany when it comes to the car makes. Irshan is covering his bases, not leaving enough gap.
You have to give it to Seshan. He has matured immensely in this whole format of racing. This is his first year of e-sport. He came straight off into the pro class. His father called me and said, "Can you please move him to the M class? He's not ready for it." We said, "Nothing doing." And he has matured. He's all fourth. And Kevin Pereira there comes into the pits. Very early pit stop.
It's a very early pit stop. Let's go look
stop.
at Kevin's tire status.
And you got Viren and Kevin both coming in very, very early. So he's running a totally different strategy
So
as well.
Kevin, his tires are shot. No wonder why Kevin Pereira is having a decent bit of tires, and
could have gone. And he's refueling as well.
He's refueling.
And he didn't change tires.
He didn't. No, he's on fresh rubber. He's on fresh rubber, and he got slightly over 3/4 of a tank of fuel there.
That's a lot of fuel.
That's too much of fuel. We saw on this track, Lago
50% is
Lago Maggiore. It is little more than what he requires. So that could be unfortunate.
It could work for him that he could run more power, because Kevin is a very, very fast
More
driver.
power. Tires needs to be holding on. So you need to strike the perfect balance between tires and power.
Don't discount this guy.
No. I
Don't discount
understand.
the guy.
He's an aggressive driver,
and he's got the tires and he's got the fuel as well.
yeah. So he got fresh rubber and has still 7 laps.
I have a feeling he could have gone one more lap before he came for the pit stop.
Maybe 2 laps.
Not 2. He could have gone one more because he had enough fuel and enough tires.
So you suggest that he should have taken the fresh rubber at the half mark of the main race distance. Let's move into the. Okay, where is Brian? Brian is managing his tires well, and he's managing his fuel well as well. Currently on P5.
But he has to come in.
He has to come into pits right about around the lap 7.
Next lap.
Yes, next lap. And Irshan's rear.
Seshan has overtaken.
Look at this! Seshan is pulling a decent of a gap.
Yeah, but
he's coming into the pits now.
He has to come in. His tires are gone. As I told you, the car is not going to be very.
That is right. But I think I noticed when it comes to Kushan Pires, his rears have gone. His rears are more worn out than his fronts. Probably the nature of the car.
He's taking a lot of fuel.
Yeah, because he's currently at quarter of a tank of fuel.
He's taken too much fuel, I told you.
He too has taken too much of fuel, just like what Kevin did. I think his car setup consumes more fuel than everybody else, because
he had quarter. He only needed maybe a quarter and a smidgen.
And a little more.
A smidgen more. Half plus a bit more would have been.
Because only 5 laps to go.
Exactly. You got a 5
We are on the
laps,
7th lap,
and
so including this, it's only 6 laps to go.
Exactly.
However, he pitted at the right time, but he should have taken
less
a
fuel.
little weeny bit less fuel.
You and I are sitting in an air-conditioned room
And telling what to do.
Moving a
and telling
controller
them
up and down, and thinking we are like Lewis Hamilton here, while these poor fellows are driving.
I understand. I know that is totally unfair, but we are giving a little bit of insight to the viewers. So
we're trying to give a bit of insight.
We are trying to give a little bit of
Exactly
insight to the
Let's
viewers.
go to our race leader and see what he's up to.
So that the viewers, when they decide to come back to this form of racing, Niroshan, they would know better. Thiago is currently
3
leading.
seconds ahead. That is not bad at all.
But Thiago is yet to pit.
He'll come in this lap.
Oh, look at Thiago's left rear. That has given more way than his left front and the other rear.
He's just coming into the last bit to come into the pit stop, but he's got 2.9 seconds over Rushdie.
Why is he over revving in gear 2 through those corners?
Yeah, because if you change it to the next gear, you'll be below the power band.
Okay.
So you got to keep it on second, and now he will put.
But he was setting the limiter as well, so I reckon that
he'll raise his hand, come into the pits. Oh, look at
Thiago
that.
is pitting.
Thiago's pitting, and Rushdie will pit as well, and Brian is pitting as well.
So
Brian is pitting now. Oh,
so that's going to brew some competition between.
Now watch the motor fuel that this car takes. Just watch the calculation and see. He will pit. He will have only about half tank and a bit more fuel.
Oh, he was running on fumes, and
exactly.
it's red
That's what
lining.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now he will have to only get half tank plus a bit.
Is he
and-
taking too much fuel?
I doubt
Let
it.
us see. Oh, he has taken too much fuel.
No, he's okay. He's okay.
He has taken 3/4
That's-
tanks of
He,
fuel,
he,
whereas
burns a lot more.
he burns a lot more. So he's driving,
His driving style
and also the setup probably burning more fuel.
burns a bit more. So he and Rushdie and he have swapped a little bit of places because Rushdie's driving is a little more economical than Thiago's.
Thiago, I
That's
understand.
a driving style. So Thiago understands that and has put more fuel.
More fuel in it.
That's part of life.
But my
Where's-
problem
how
is
much
look
of
at
fuel is-
Thiago
where-
and look at
where is-
Adam. Adam is closing in on Thiago and it's just 2.5 seconds away. Adam has fresh rubber as well and less than 3/4 of tank of fuel.
But it's a long way to go, Rukshan. I'm more keen to see what's the gap between Rushdie and Mevan.
Rushdie and Mevan, it's just less than a second there. It has come up to about a second now.
That's where it is. But Brian from nowhere has come fifth.
Well, Brian was our previous race leader who started the race from P11, has managed to come to P5 even after his pit stop.
And
did
even
he
Seshan.
stop?
Yeah, he did. Oh no, he
No,
has.
Brian has stopped.
Even
And
Seshan.
he's on fresh rubber.
Even Seshan has stopped.
Look at Brian's fuel level. It is just half a tank. And
Perfect.
he has
Perfect.
taken the perfect amount of fuel out of all the pack of rest of the pack. And
Yeah,
now
but
let's move into Seshan.
Seshan-
He's also on fresh rubber. Close about slightly above half a tank of fuel.
He's okay.
Kevin Pereira is half a tank of fuel. Kushan Piris has taken slightly more than half a tank of fuel there. Probably
Akil, I
3/4
think,
and now
has to
burning.
pit.
And Akil Rizvi,
May have
he
to
has
pit.
he has a lot more fuel than everybody else, and he is coming into pit.
Because his
As
tyres
we were
are gone.
speaking about him,
His tires are good.
he's coming into the pits. He has quarter tank of fuel left. So Akil is probably is easy on his throttle and he's coasting. That's Akil taking his fresh rubber and
Akil
refueling.
falls all the way to the back.
And he has fallen all the way back to P10 but joins right behind Thiago Pereira. And Akil rejoins the race at P8. Adam Junaid is on
You were
P9.
right. You were right, Rukshan. I think Thiago took a little too much.
Thiago
fuel.
has taken too much of fuel. That is why he cannot quite
But
give
even-
it a run
but
to
even-
the ones in
even
the front.
Even Rushdie is.
Rushdie is now half a tank
Yeah,
because
but there's something wrong somewhere because Rushdie and Thiago were the
look at that,
leaders
look at
here,
that,
right?
look at that, look at that. Thiago is attacking Irshan right about now and going into this right-hander and
but
onto
attacking-
the back stretch in a
Attacking is
little
one,
while later.
Attacking is one thing, but these two guys, are they catching Mevan? That is the million-dollar question.
That is the million-dollar question now. Vivan is less than a second down on his brother Brian Pereira. Brian Pereira is on P4, right about half a second down on Seshan. Seshan is on P3 in his Supra, doing an absolutely good job on the Supra now.
Yeah, but Brian has a 1.4 second penalty, which means if you bring him down, Brian will be coming very close to Thiago.
Who's carrying the penalty? Brian Pereira is
Brian
carrying a
has
1.4 second penalty.
So
there.
if you add 1.4 plus the 1.1, that
So
is
he'll
how
be
far-
right about P6 or P5.
P5 or
Yeah,
even,
so he will be right about in P5
Exactly.
once the penalty has been applied. Now,
No,
why
beyond-
does
below-
the
below
penalty?
P5.
Yeah.
Below P5.
So why does the penalty is not applied in the race
See, it will be applied. He has
during
to ease-
classification?
No. Brian has to ease off and brake, and then the penalty will go off. Now, if Brian does not serve this penalty, if he is anything over 1 second, it will be a 2-second penalty because the game counts it to a squared second.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so,
So
he,
the next
he
full
needs
number.
to he needs to bring it down to under a second, or if he keeps it where he is, he's going to have a 2-second penalty at the end of the race.
Okay, so that is how the race is governed now. Look at this. Brian Pereira moves on the inside of Seshan and moves ahead into P3. Seshan Gunasekara not covering his bases a little and left a little bit of gap open on the inside for Brian to take. And you should not be playing this kind of games with an experienced driver like Brian. You see a window and he sneaks through.
Brian is an astute driver. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's got his bases covered, but unfortunately, Seshan is now coming under pressure from Mevan.
And this battle, more than the top two runners, the battle for P3, the third place, the final podium place, is becoming very interesting. It's a three-way car battle. We have Brian, Seshan and Mevan fighting for P3, right about within 1.5 seconds in total. And let us look at Rushdie Ishan. He's joining in. Thiago is attacking Rushdie. He's 2/10 of Rushdie Irshan, and right about into two corners. We are coming into the hairpin, and who would take the... Okay, Thiago chooses to enter wide and exit a little faster. Doesn't stick.
That won't work because Rushdie made sure that he covered the inside base. Irshan made sure he covered the inside base, and Thiago didn't have a way to go around him. Thiago, I feel that Thiago is faster here.
Thiago is faster, but he's getting a little nervous because he knows he's faster, but he needs to find that perfect amount of track space just to pass Irshan with his exit speed, or he needs to break late into a corner, or if he's given on the inside. Now they are coming back to the main stretch after this left-hander going on to the main stretch.
The next issue is Akil Rizvi is catching Thiago.
Akil Rizvi. That is because Thiago's fight with Irshan is quite becoming strenuous, and as a result, Akil Rizvi has joined the party. P8, P7, P6, all fighting for the same position, while Mevan Pereira P5, Seshan P4, Brian Pereira P3, they are all fighting for P3, the final podium position. However, let us look at this battle. Seshan is challenged by Mevan now.
If Mevan takes the place from Seshan, it will be... Oh, Mevan there gave Seshan a tap. I hope he doesn't take the place with that tap, because that will be watched very, 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 very hard by the stewards. Now we have another thing brewing, Rukshan. As you can see, Rushdie, Thiago and Akil have all caught Seshan.
Yeah, everybody has caught Seshan now. Seshan to Mevan is just 1/10. And look at that, Mevan went on in the... Oh, Mevan moved on the inside into that slight S. There was no contact. It's just that he was looking in his rear, and as a result, missed the apex and ran wide. He couldn't brake on time. He didn't brake on time. That's what I reckon that happened to Seshan. And Thiago, unfortunately, the man who
Thiago was overtaken by Akil as well.
Thiago is having a bad time in the car today. P8 has said now, and Akil Rizvi has moved into P7. Seshan, unfortunately, in his Supra has moved down to P6. But this is still a battle to watch. P4, P5, P4 is up and away, pulling about, say, around a second gap. But Irshan and Seshan, this is an interesting race to watch. Three cars, Thiago joining the party of Seshan and Irshan, and Akil Rizvi also joining in. And Akil Rizvi moves on the inside, and right about now goes around the outside, takes the line on the inside to the right-hander, and can Akil Rizvi hold on, or will Seshan take it back? And Thiago comes along Seshan there. Seshan unfortunately have lost a lot of places on this race.
He's lost
this lap.
He's lost his tires as well.
Oh yes, his fronts are shot, and let's look at Thiago. Thiago's tires are very well in good condition, and he can probably be in contention with Irshan.
It's too late though.
It's too late, maybe. Half a lap more to go. Thiago is fighting Irshan. Irshan is fighting Akil Rizvi. Can Akil Rizvi hold on? Look at Akil Rizvi's tires. He's on fumes. He's on the last lap, but his tires are as good as new. Maybe less than 20% worn out, and he's probably very good on his steering inputs. The fronts are looking absolutely fantastic, having a lot of grip into the braking, and Akil Rizvi still manages to be on P4. Let's look at the race leader. We are on the final lap, and race leader is taking the double right-hander right about now. And Brian Pereira is fighting a very distant P2, but not so far from his brother Kevin Pereira, who's at P3 right now. 1.5 seconds gap. Can he take? No. And Akil Rizvi is joining in. And can they pull what we need? Okay, there goes Kushan Pires. He takes the checkered flag as the winner. Brian Pereira comes in. Brian Pereira is heavily challenged by Kevin Pereira. It's bumper to bumper. He could have had a photo finish. That's fantastic racing between the two Pereira brothers. Akil Rizvi P4, Irshan P5, Thiago takes 6th, Seshan P7, Mevan Pereira, a very unfortunate distant P8. And
What happened to Mevan the last time?
Bevan did not actually race hard enough today.
No,
it
but he
was
was
basically
third.
no, Bevan wasn't third. It was Kevin and it was Brian. They were at the top. Bevan was always in the back, on the middle order, fighting with the middle order, and has ultimately fallen back on the order. Adam tonight, unfortunately, finishing P9. That is the end of the race 2 of the round 5, happening right here at Autodrome Lago Maggiore, a virtual, a fictional track.
We'll be back with you for race 2 of the M2 class.
M2
Shortly.
class, M class shortly. And till then, adios.
What a bloody race. Hey, who was the fastest stepper? Huh?
What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art, or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art, or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art, or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art, or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection. What makes a nation great? Is it the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its natural bounty, the state of its state-of-the-art? Or is it the bonds that bind us? For decades, SLT Mobitel has been linking Sri Lankan lives and uniting the nation. Whatever the future may look like, we'll always be right here, connecting you to the things you care most about. SLT Mobitel, the connection.
Alsace village track in France, another fictional track, 5.4 kilometers of racing length with 17 turns, and we are ready to go for the lights out.
Rukshan, we've got Imdad Hussain on pole.
And the red lights go.
Just about now.
And that's green, and Imdad is stolen on the track, and it's very unfortunate. He was on P1. Probably he's glitching. And Sam Smith
leads the race, and Sam Smith leads the pack into the first corner, followed by Sachetana Patina and Angelo, who's all the way in 8th place, has come all the way up to third.
And Angelo has this race in his up his sleeves, already in his bag, I suppose. And look at oh wow, Imesh Silva moved in beautifully on the inside of Angelo and 3 more cars.
Exactly. Angelo lost the place, but Sachetana and Imesh just launched themselves into that corner, and poor Angelo didn't see that one coming.
And now Angelo is doing the same thing on the inside, takes Sachesana and moves up to the P3. Imesh is P2 now. Imesh driving his beautifully liveried green and blue Lancer.
I am not commenting on colors.
All right, I understand, but this is the colors, the brand colors of our sponsor, SLT Mobitel, green and blue, and we have something resembling SLT Mobitel here, running at P2 right now. Imesh challenging Sam Smith. Sam Smith, when he is leading away from a pack, manages to hold his nerve and drive far better than fighting from the back of the grid.
Again, I'm not going to comment because the commentator's jinx will come on to poor Sam Smith, and that will be the end of Sam.
That's a very good one. And let us look at Angelo. Angelo is currently on P3, 2/10 of a second off Imesh, who's the championship leader in this race round. And Angelo is very, very, very close to taking Imesh there and goes on to the main stretch now.
A different line. Angelo takes a different line there. It's interesting to see how he goes into that corner.
And look at that. Sam has clocked the fastest lap time, 2 minutes 8 seconds.
That'll be brilliant. Brilliant driving by Sam. He's got these
Look
guys.
at this. Look at this. Imesh is moving on the inside of, side by side, goes on the main stretch. He takes Sam Smith, eyes closed, and Sam is currently on P2. Oh, they touch. Sam Smith
gets the better of Imesh and takes the lead as well.
However,
Sam was actually touched by Angelo.
they are both touched. Sam and Angelo touched, but eventually Sam managed to snap the P1.
Yeah, and it was a side-by-side tap. If it was a tap from the back, at least I could have said that Sam got a bit of a launch from that, but he didn't.
But look at
Sam,
Imesh.
beautiful
Imesh.
driving by Sam. Nicely closed the door on poor Imesh, who didn't see that coming as well. And Angelo managed to creep through and say, "Thank you very much. I'm taking this place away from you."
That is true. That is true. Imesh, unfortunate. Sam parked his car on the exit onto the curb where no driver there could take him there. However, coming through the parabolica of this beautiful Alsace village track, it's a virtual.
Angelo takes it. Angelo takes it. Yes, Angelo has got past him. No,
Oh,
Sam.
no, not yet.
Oh, on the switchback, I think Angelo managed to take Sam. Sam ran a bit too wide there. I hope he hasn't lost the momentum there. And if he has lost momentum, Imesh is going to take him there. I hope Sam can manage it. No.
Look at who's joining the party. Rise Wim and Dasun Ranatunga. This is a 5-way battle. Top 5 cars are battling with each other. 2 by 2, side by side. Sam challenging Imesh into the right hand there. Imesh runs wide. Sam manages to stay ahead. And now Imesh has the advantage on Sam. Onto the left hander. Now briefly goes through the main stretch, and Sam is on P3. Dasun has moved to P4 and Rice on P5. And look who has joined the party of the Japanese party. Mevan in his Ferrari has joined on P6. A little bit of Italian cuisine and Japanese sushi here. 6 cars. 6 Japanese cars. All Lancer, Mitsubishi, I beg your pardon, 1 Subaru, 5 Lancers, and
Hey, you forgot the French car.
Megane is not up this 6. Not on the top 6.
Yeah, but you forgot the French car.
Oh yeah. I like a little bit of French baguette. With maybe a tuna salad sandwiched in between.
Okay.
There you go. Sam Smith on P5. Mevan has challenged Sam and moved up on the inside and takes the P5 position. Sam is losing 1 by 1 and now is currently P6. And let's look at where Inuk Madhumarachi is. Inuk joins in on Mevan 6, 1.5 seconds down. We see 5 cars at a stretch and the 6th car joins in. The race leader manages to comfortably pull away.
Inuk is still 7th and he has a lot of fuel and tires left. I'm wondering whether he's running a totally different strategy here. I wonder whether he has got something else up his sleeve, and that will be interesting to see what he has up.
Look at Inuk now. He was nowhere, and from We have the Subaru leading. Angelo Senaratne Subaru is 2 seconds away from Imesh's Mitsubishi Lance Evolution, and then Rise into again driving. Oh, look at that!
That was a bad
That's
one.
a lot of oversteering there. Somebody hit?
Somebody who
That was Dasun Ranatunga
he
losing his rear.
Lost it. I hope he hasn't touched anybody there.
Losing his rear. I was just about to speak through Rise to Dasun as he was overcorrecting himself. However, Dasun is driving another Lancer on P4, Sam driving a Lance Evolution P5, Mevan driving his Ferrari 458 Italia P6, and now
Inuk is right on the hooter.
on the tail of the Italia right there, and 0.2 of a second off. And if he manages to pull himself,
Inuk will get him because Mevan is.
Oh, the Ferrari lost it there, ran too wide, and it's all Inuk's to take.
No, because Inuk has
Inuk is taking a wider line.
Yeah, because he's got more drive through the corner. See,
All right.
got the drive through the corner, and Mevan has a 0.8,
Ferrari is ghosting and taking a very defensive line, very tight on the inside, and he lost the place. Now Inuk has moved up to P6, and Renault Megane not too far from Mevan, who's running the
I
Italia
told you
X7.
not to write off the little Renault.
Megane is coming up on the 6 of the Italia. Fantastic race. And the fastest lap time is recorded by Angelo Senaratne, 2 minutes 2 seconds 0.151, and he has pulled a 4 seconds gap to P2 Rise. Now Rise has moved into P2 and Dasun on P3. Imesh, what happened to you?
You know, I'll tell you, Rukshan, where the problem is. The problem is that 2, 3, 4 are all top drivers, including 5. Okay,
That's right.
those guys are fighting each other, and due to their constant fight with each other, they have forgotten that there is a guy in front of them.
Oh,
Angelo.
that is precise, because it appears to the viewer, if we give you right about this direction, if we give this view, viewers might think that Rise is the race leader. However, to see, just like in Formula F1, the winner has left the pack and about 4.5 seconds to the P2 Rise. Rise is driving a beautiful car today, a nicely liveried Lancer Evolution GR4 spec, and driving away from Dasun. It's just 0.3 of a second off. Dasun is 0.3 off to Rise, and closing on Rise, and moves along the left side.
Rise might take him
Side
there.
by side, but going into the right-hander. Rise has a better edge there. He manages to stay ahead.
But you have to give it to these guys. These guys are really driving the socks off these cars. All 4 cars, I think they're all the same. They're all 4 evolutions. Yes, there are 4
They
evolutions. And they're all driving it all the way. Inuk is also driving the identical car in 6th place. I'm not too sure how far.
Look at that.
Dasun.
Dasun moves down the inside, and he manages to snap the P2 position. And Rise left a lot of window open there. A lot of track width open to Dasun. And Dasun manages to take under braking. Fantastic stuff.
See, Rukshan, the catch is this, that these guys, I hope they are not overdoing it, because they've gone through about 50% of their tires and they haven't gone through 50% of their race.
That is true. We are still on the 5th lap.
Exactly.
And half mark will come about right in about 2 minutes time, and the race leader moves on to the they are taking the right hand hairpin and goes through the left hander right about now, and comes on to the last stretch before they go through the right hander and the left hander. It's a lovely S before the final corner, and the race leader moves through. He's on the main stretch now and has managed to pull a 5.5 second gap, and Dasun Ranatunga on P2 and closely challenged in by Rise.
Rukshan, if you look at this way, these guys have now gone, 3 guys have now got into the pits.
That's right. That is Mevan, Imesh and Sam.
Okay, so when these guys come out, they've got an advantage that they've pitted in, they've done the undercut.
That's right.
Okay, but you think what Angelo is doing, he's going to run it really long, in my opinion. He's going to run this race, a long race, before he does a pit stop. Right? And in that process, we have to wonder who is going to blink first from the top 4 drivers. 3 drivers. Right? See, it's 5.7 seconds. He's got enough and more fuel, and his tires are pretty decent.
Pretty decent, and only the fronts have shot about 40%.
He's okay.
But the rears are holding very well.
He might do one more lap before he comes in. As you see, Dasun was okay, but Rise ran a little too wide there.
Dasun, and look at Dasun and Rice's tires.
Exactly.
Identical tire wear.
Exactly what I'm trying to explain to you is that because these guys have been racing each other, their tire wear is a lot more than Angelo's.
That is true, and also identical. That is what excites me about identical tire wear, identical fuel burn.
So they both have to blink at the same time. So Angelo might run a little longer. Let's run with Inuk.
Inuk is quite distant, 4 seconds off from P3.
Yes, but don't forget that Inuk is also taking it pretty well. His tires are not too shabby at the back. The front left
has given way, and
Inuk might have to come into the pits about the same time.
Probably around lap number 7, I reckon.
That's where Imesh and Mevan will make the difference.
Understood. Let's look at Imesh. What happened to Imesh and Mevan? Looking at Imesh, Imesh has pitted and taken fresh rubber in.
Exactly.
Mevan pitted and he has taken fresh rubber in.
That's what I meant earlier.
That is true.
They did the undercut.
And now the race leaders are in the pits. Let's stick with Angelo. Dasun Ranatunga is coming into the pits right about now. We are now with our race leader, Angelo Senaratne, who kept 6.5 seconds of lead. He has managed to come out right about at the top. 3.5 seconds to Dasun Ranatunga now.
I think we need to give Angelo a couple of pointers on refueling. He made the fundamental error again.
Again, 3/4 of a tank of fuel for less than half of a race length.
He made the same mistake earlier.
In the previous race.
He didn't understand the delta. And Dasun understood that and has reduced 1.5 seconds of his lead based on that.
That is true. Dasun has managed to fuel slightly over half a tank. Half a tank is all you require to go the remaining race distance. Something that I cannot understand is why all the drivers are fueling little extra. Look at Sam. He has been very smart with his fuel choice.
No, but I asked him, when we just spoke to Thiago a little while ago,
okay,
and asked him, remember a little while ago we spoke to him and asked him, why did you fuel so much? And he said, look, my driving style, I require more fuel.
Right, understood.
So even though he's used for half the race, he's using almost 3/4 tank of fuel. So he needs another 3/4 tank of fuel for the balance half. Whereas
look at this. Sam has moved on the outside of Riceweim. Fantastic drive by Sam. And he has inside line. Unfortunately, he cannot hold on to this lead. And Riceweim, having lost his P3, manages to come back on Sam on the outside, taking the outside line, carrying more speed through that corner. What do you have to say about that?
I don't know. I mean, Sam had it there for a moment and then ultimately seems to have lost momentum somewhere down the line. Maybe he got distracted. Maybe he took the wrong line to a corner. It could be a multitude of questions, but you have to give credit. I mean, Rice is a very quick driver.
He's a very quick driver and he's a very, very calm driver.
And Rukshan, the craziest thing, that Sam and Rice both have raced the Formula LGBs.
That's right.
Both.
I was with Rice on the Formula LGB myself.
Exactly. And both used to race go-karts. So they've got a lot of...
So it all comes from karting and open wheel racing.
Yeah, well,
a lot of discipline.
It helps.
It helps. A lot of discipline comes through and we can see it on track right now. So Sam Smith is now being challenged by Mevan in his Ferrari. And Rice has moved up to P3. Mevan has taken Sam... eventually, and now he's P4. Sam has lost his place to P5, and Imesh is challenging Sam again on the inside, going into the right-hander, now onto the left-hander on the outside, carrying more speed. And can Imesh come on top of Sam? No, Sam goes through.
And you know what's going to happen next? Guess who's joining the party?
Inuk Magdumarachi, the silent killer, is slowly stalking down Sam. and joining the middle order fight.
I thought, the whole catch in this whole process is that Inuk has now matured to be consistent.
And also to plan his race well. If Inuk had slightly more than that of a car's width there onto that left-hander, he would have taken Sam right away.
And Inuk is not a guy who
Look at these cars. These two touched. Sam Smith and Imesh touched on lap 8.
and how was that for Inuk?
Oh, look at Inuk
Oh,
Madhumarachi.
look
We
at
were
the
just
move.
talking about this guy.
Look at
and
the move.
he has moved ahead of Sam Smith and Imesh. While Sam and Imesh was busy fighting each other.
These two guys knocked each other again.
That's another
man.
second time. And Inuk Madhumarachi was there to feed on the straps.
Imesh,
and that's a fantastic
I'm
move.
sure
That's
that-
lap number 8.
I think Imesh will have to be given a slight warning by the stewards because they're driving way too aggressively
But
on this
look at
one.
Inuk Madhumarachi, how sweet his driving style is. This guy seems to have matured more than the seniors themselves because he planned his race and planted himself right at the right location.
But Rukshan, you can't plan an incident like that before. He was just at the
No,
right
he was
place.
just he was on the 6th, hoping the front two would end up fighting with each other and leave him a bit of space. That's what I reckon.
But he reacted to it really quickly.
It was very quick. Just before we saw the incident,
He saw it.
he saw it and he was right in front, and he's pulling a 1.5 seconds gap to Sam Smith now. And let's look at Sam. Sam has lost it to Imesh again. Sam on P7. Imesh has managed to move ahead of Sam. And Sachetana Patirage, very, very distant P8. 11 seconds down on Sam Smith.
Okay.
What happened?
He hasn't gone to the pits. Oh, he has gone to the pits.
He has taken fresh rubber in.
I take it back. Unfortunately.
Yep,
The
that
Meg-
is very unfortunate. He's driving a very distant P8.
And I'll take it back. The Megane is not the right car for this track.
Megane doesn't seem to be. I was never confident about Megane anyway. And let's go and take a
I
look
love
at the
my
race
French
leader.
cars. I love my French cars. Don't close.
French cars are sexier. I agree with you, but not as fast as the Japanese.
Yeah, well, you learn the hard way, I guess.
Yeah. Some Japanese cuisine versus French cuisine.
Hey, look, Angelo has really caught up. He's been caught up by Dasun.
Dasun has moved in very close on Angelo. The gap is down to 1 second,
Yeah.
which was before, about a lap ago, it was 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the perspective. Okay, we are now with Dasun, focused on Dasun, and in his perspective, going on to the main stretch.
We were talking a little earlier. Sam was giving us a little insight about Dasun. Dasun had been Sam. Where was Dasun, Sam?
In Poland before. In Poland.
And then what was the back?
Actually, he was living in Warsaw, in Poland for a very long time, and he had to move 2 places, 2 apartments. The initial one he was okay, but the second one he had a lot of trouble, racing with us because I couldn't exactly do the initial configuration on those routers. So the last time I spoke to Dasun, he said, "Don't worry, Sam. I've moved away from. I've actually moved out from Poland, and now I'm living in Hong Kong, and we can do the race." So that's why that you are seeing Dasun right now racing in the AM class.
Great stuff by Dasun to be so enthusiastic in this championship. He won it last year. We've got Dasun back, but unfortunately Dasun and our 2 leaders, Angelo, are joining the championship
A little too late.
halfway around the championship, so they don't really get the points, the advantage of the points the first 3 rounds. Imesh Silva is our current champion, but due credit to Dasun and Rise, Mevan and Inuk. What's the gap between Minuk and Mevan?
Okay, we are now riding with. Oh, look at Inuk Madhumarachi.
Told you.
He has gone. He has started attacking the Ferrari 458 Italia of Mevan Vikramasinghe, and he's very, very, very close. 2.5 more laps to go, and we are on the 10th lap, and we are right about in 10 seconds.
Bets.
I think Inuk will pull a Ferrari running out of the track
Inuk
there.
fourth.
Enoch manages to yield from that and he's up to P4. Can Enoch take a podium position today? Unfortunately, he has a very experienced driver in front of him. Rai Zubain, a cool and a calm driver. Let's look at Rise. Yes, we have Enoch's car and Mevan's car on coming in on Rise's rearview mirrors right about in about half a lap's time from now, and Mevan is currently P5.
What is the gap between Rise and Enoch? Or 4 seconds?
It's 4.5, more than 4.5 seconds. So that's a lifetime to catch in 2 laps. And looking at the race leader, he's been now challenged
Ruksha.
by Dasun Ranatunga in his Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. Now this is a Japanese 2 brands fighting it out. Hey, that is Angelo left track. I don't know whether he's gained advantage. However,
He shouldn't gain advantage putting 4 wheels on the gravel.
he has moved his contender right on his tail. And look at these 2 Japanese brands. Will it be the Subaru or will it be the Lancer? It's one more lap to go to watch. And mind you, both drivers are cool customers and very, very good driving at the end. We are on the penultimate lap, lap number 11. And Angelo is parking his car right where his money is. And Dasun hopes and prays that Angelo pulls.
Beautifully done.
That is fantastic driving, Niroshan. What do you have to say? This is...
beautifully dry. When Angelo went wide, I thought, he cooked it there. But I realized...
Angelo had a lot of exit speed there around that corner.
Exactly. He got a way better exit speed out of the corner, which Dasun was compromised because he took a tighter line into that corner.
And look at Dasun. He has clocked in his fastest lap time right around lap 8. And since then, he has been losing a little time. But nevertheless, he has managed to close in on the race leader. They are down to less than 0.3 of a second. And Angelo is carrying more speed out of that corner and trying to... and Angelo is punching a hole on the main stretch where Dasun can benefit. He has found slipstream and he is following very close. He is on the 6, takes a totally different line altogether, tries to go around the outside but never manages to make it stick.
This is what you call nail-biting stuff.
This is nail-biting. We are on the final lap and we are half a lap away from the race finish line. We are on to sector 2. And as we speak, there's another battle brewing between Inuk Madhumarachi and Mevan. He's in his red Ferrari, has managed to come back on the 6 of Inuk Madhumarachi. Just 1/10 of a second. He moves on the outside.
No,
but Inuk is wiser. He's right on the inside, keeping it tight and clean. Manages to go right ahead of Mevan. Mevan is challenging Inuk constantly. And Inuk doesn't have any breathing space. And we now switch our focus to the race leader. Right after this corner, race leaders are coming into the hairpin. Alright, this is where we are. Oh, look at that. While we were so focused on Inuk and Mevan, Dasun momentarily had the race lead coming out of that hairpin. And unfortunately, Dasun, something happened there and Angelo manages to snap that race lead. And look at Dasun. Dasun is coming on the outside and going on the inside onto the final corner. The right-hander there, Dasun has the lead. Oh dear. Angelo Senaratne seems to have lost the battle, lost the race lead in the last 2 corners. That is the checkered flag. Dasun Ranatunga, a well-fought fight between Angelo Senaratne. Dasun first, Angelo second. Raisu has taken the final podium position. And look at that. Just like Angelo lost it, Inuk Madhumarachi too have lost his advantage over Mevan. And Inuk finishes 5th. Mevan finishes 4th in this Ferrari. And a well-fought battle, Niroshan.
Absolutely amazing racing by all the guys, all up and down this grid. We congratulate everybody and wish everybody all the very best. Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe. Round 5 and round 6 will be on the 27th or 28th of November. And we thank our sponsors, Petronas Syntium.
And that is the end of Race at Home Championship Round 5 and presented by Petronas Syntium, powered by SLT Mobitel and with associate partners Lab 57, House of Glass, and our social media partner AAAR. That was the end of the amateur race that happened at Alsace Village track, a fictional track from France. And until we see you next time, have a good night. Enjoy the finals T20 and also let's enjoy F1 at Interlagos. Thank you and see you next time.
On the 28th of November at 1:30 in the afternoon, Sri Lankan time.